Good evening. We got a lot of people standing, so while you can, why don't you grab a seat? There's some over here for those that just came in. Nick from Duffy Rolls, thanks for being here. One of my favorite people that comes to the Opportunity Coalition. If you haven't had Duffy Rolls, recommend it highly. So go ahead and grab a seat. Before we get started, I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. My guess is you had an option of where you could be this evening, and you chose to be with us. And for that, we are truly grateful. I also want to thank the Innovation Pavilion. We have Media there in the back. Is Vic here tonight? Okay. And then we also have Carrie Ann. Is she around? Okay. Great. There we go. So for those that aren't familiar with the Innovation Pavilion, I think it's important that we highlight them. I bought this building because I believed in the Innovation Pavilion so much. And the Innovation Pavilion is an incubator for entrepreneurs. The youngest entrepreneur is in middle school, the oldest is in his 80s, and everything in between. Over 80 new companies have been founded and are being grown here. And you think about the ripple effect throughout Denver, it's very, very exciting. And they let us use this space, and for that we're grateful. Even though I own the building, I guess I could use the space anyway. But I'm still grateful. I just want to make sure you know I'm grateful. Okay, good. Check, I got that done. Please report back to Vic. Brian is grateful. I also want to thank Ashley Juge for setting up all the food and drink. Without that, you wouldn't have any this evening. Michael Collins with B-Story Driven for doing all of the video. I want to thank Millie Kitchen, back there Millie, for checking people in, and Christina Whalen. And I also want to thank our advisory board. We are blessed with a phenomenal advisory board at the Opportunity Coalition. We have Nicole Gamp with us this evening. Nicole. We have Kyle Henderson with Excel Companies. Kyle. Christina Whalen, who I just mentioned with the Denver Mortgage Source, and John Brackney with Webolutions. Did I miss any of the advisory board members? Let's give them a round of applause. So oftentimes people ask, why did you found the Opportunity Coalition? And it's so exciting each night that we come here once a month, and so many people are new to the Opportunity Coalition. I'd love for you to tell me how you heard about us, or if anybody twisted your arm in getting here. But it's exciting to see the growth. And I founded the organization because I noticed that people throughout our state were somewhat disconnected. There were people from the Western Slope, the Mountain Region, Front Range, and Eastern Plains. There were people in academia, people in politics, people in the media, people in business. But there weren't a lot of bridges connecting these people together. A lot of organizations you go to on a given evening, they want something from you. They make an ask. But we here, all we want to do is to promote great relationships, to promote sparks of connection between people, to promote free enterprise. And we believe that by doing so, people are going to find jobs, new businesses and new initiatives are going to be created that can help transform society, and that a better dialogue will occur instead of one that is contentious. So thank you for being here, and please spread the word with your friends, because we want to grow out of this space and maybe, go into other venues. 335 billion. 335 billion. Does anyone know what that number may stand for? Anyone want to guess? Come on, don't be a shy crowd here tonight. Yes?
The amount of medical supplies moved.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Given our speaker, I see you're dialed in on that. I like it. It's not the answer, but I like it. 335 billion. Another? Yes?
It's about what we spend, what the U.S. spends every year defending our position in oil-producing countries.
That's a good answer. Good answer. It may be, I don't know, but it is a good answer. I like it. Anyone else?
Hamburgers sold at McDonald's.
It's probably true. 335.17 billion is the total private annual giving from individuals, foundations, and businesses in the United States of America. $335 billion per year. Giving USA estimates that giving by individuals accounted for $229 billion of this amount on a yearly basis, which is about 72% of all contributions. Foundations make up about 15%, bequests about 7%, and corporations about 6%. So giving in America is being handled by people like you, people who care, people that are trying to make a positive difference in the world. 25% of US adults volunteered for an organization in some capacity last year. That may seem high or low to you, but that equaled 8.1 billion hours of work. 8.1 billion, which equates, on estimates, depending on what hourly wage you want to ascribe to those individuals, of $160 billion in value. 160 billion. I did some research on the rates of giving in the United States. People who make below $100,000, on average, are giving about 3.6% of their annual salary in some capacity. People who make $100,000 to $200,000, it dips down to 2.6%. Above $200,000, it's 3.1%. And for most of you in the room that I know this next stat will apply to, if you're making over 10 million a year, don't raise your hand, you may be just accosted by everybody else in the room. But above 10 million, they're giving almost 6% of their annual income to charitable causes. So I did a little more research. I said, where does Colorado line up? I think we're a pretty giving state. Colorado, sadly, is the lowest giving state in the mountain region. I didn't know that. We give on average about 2.73% of our income, and we're 31st of the 50 states in overall giving. Colorado brings in about $3.14 billion a year to giving, and about $1.87 billion comes from the Denver metro area alone. After a slight drop after the Great Recession, individual giving has been increasing on a yearly basis. But the pre-recession high of 2005 has not been met yet. 24% of annual giving is done between Thanksgiving and New Year's. So I told you a little bit about the giving. Let's talk a moment about the need. There's about 1.5 million tax-exempt nonprofit organizations in the United States of America. 992,000 of these are public charities, 98,000 are foundations, and 365,000 are considered an other category. Nonprofits account for about 9% of the wages and salaries paid in the US, and their share of our GDP is about 5.3%. The assets of public charities is about $3 trillion in America. So why do I share all this with you? It's not to bore you with stats, but to drive home the point that there's a great need out there. We all know there's a need, and there's many organizations trying to serve different needs. And the good news is that there are groups out there trying to make that impact. But tonight, we are blessed and fortunate to have one of the greatest of these nonprofits in our midst. It's an organization that's just down the street. Many of you probably know about Project C.U.R.E, but they're making a phenomenal impact on a global scale. Project C.U.R.E sends out about 3 semi-loads of donated medical supplies and equipment each week. Since 1987, they've served 130 countries. 130 countries. They're consistently recognized with the highest 4-star ranking from Charity Navigator, and was named by Forbes as one of the top 200 charities in America. A little organization just down the street that was founded right here. They send teams of medical professionals and supplies through their C.U.R.E kits. They have 15,000 volunteers per year, going back to that 25% number, making one of the most efficient and effective grassroots organizations in the country. We were just having a meeting with Doug Jackson before this event got started. And Jonathan said, it's a place where miracles happen on a regular basis. A place where miracles happen on a regular basis. Jonathan, I know you're an author, so hopefully that wasn't plagiarism on my behalf that I gave you that quote. Okay, I just want to make sure. I was listening to you, though. I just want to let you know. So as you all know, we have Doug Jackson with us tonight. I'd like to read his bio. I usually like just to give a summary, but Doug is so involved in so many amazing things, I think it's important that you get to hear it firsthand. He is a Rotary International Paul Harris Fellow and was the president of the Denver Rotary Club, number 31. He serves on the board of directors of Interaction, World Denver, the Nanda Center for International and Comparative Law at the University of Denver, and the Ruckert Hartman College for Health Professionals at Regis University. He is a member of the National Who's Who Registry and a graduate of the leadership program LEAD San Diego. Past service includes the Institute for International Education, which administers Fulbright scholarships, Leaders Challenge, and a ruling elder of Cherry Hills Community Church. Doug received the Lifetime Achievement Award in Healthcare from the American Red Cross, the Civis Princeps recognition from Regis University. Probably didn't say that correctly, but you'll forgive me. We're friends. The 5280 Magazine Philanthropist of the Year, and accepted the CoBiz Best Places to Work and Colorado Ethics in Business Award on behalf of the team Project C.U.R.E. Doug graduated magna cum laude from Northwest Nazarene University in 1982, receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration. In 1985, he earned a Juris Doctor from the University of Colorado at Boulder, receiving the American Jurisprudence Award for Excellence in the Study of Law. In 1992, he was awarded a PhD in Business Administration with an emphasis in finance and economic metrics, there we go, I kind of butchered that, from the University of Colorado at Boulder. Following his admission to the bar, Doug administered the legal affairs for the international agricultural firm of CTB Incorporated, a Berkshire Hathaway corporation. Upon the completion of his PhD, Doug opened the Freeman Business Center at Point Loma University in San Diego. As executive director, Doug developed and implemented numerous programs and seminars to advance business opportunities for college students and business professionals in the San Diego community and abroad. I give you this background because Doug is different than many. He has business experience and has a lot of interesting background. But one of the biggest things that I love about Doug, and I think that you're going to hear from him this evening, is his heart. He has a phenomenal heart that's impacting many, many lives for the better. With that, help me welcome Doug to the front.